and left alone, and something else will come along and take its place.
But of course,
Porsche don't have anything at the moment, so.
But of course, it is only in its second year of development. The new 997. This is its real first season out racing. So they still think it'll carry on the brand, and of course they've got LMP2 cars as well. We know from Adrian Fernandez telling us that the Honda team want to be here next year, and of course in America we are seeing in the American Le Mans Series Penske Porsches and Rob Dyson's Porsches racing. And I know for a fact for years Dyson has said, if I have the right car, I would love to come back to Le Mans, I would love to race Le Mans. Now, how that works with the ACO not wishing for factory teams or not wishing to see factory cars, maybe Penske won't come, but maybe Dyson will.
Yeah, but it goes beyond that now. We're hearing that Porsche themselves are saying they will not let their cars race, petrol cars race against diesels, and this is becoming a big issue now, and this is going to get bigger and bigger over the next couple of years. The customers might want to do it, but if Porsche says no, then you can be sure the customers won't do it.
Of course, unless there are any diesels in the LMP2 category, that might open that loophole, because what you say with one hand, you not necessarily follow through with the other.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason that these cars we're looking at, the Audi and the Peugeot, the reason they're running, one of the reasons they're running diesels, as well as the fact it's the quickest thing out there, is because both those companies sell an awful lot of diesel cars. Porsche, no, they don't have a diesel at all.
And of course, the other thing we talked about before the race started was the hybrids. And I've got a cutting from the Sunday Times here last week. Peugeot getting ready for its first diesel hybrid. A diesel hybrid, a diesel electric. That's going to be something interesting.
And we've had those on the railways for years, haven't we?
They've been moving forward in technology, fuel technology, for many years. So it will continually change, and Le Mans leads the field in that type of change.
Interesting as the Peugeots and the Audis come up into traffic, how they're diving around on the straight, breaking all the rules of crossing the white line and not, but safely through there. Sebastian Bourdais leading Lucas Luhr and Nick Minasian. This is the battle for third place, of course. Dindo Capello being chased by Frank Biela, who's now the quickest man on the circuit.
But Luhr Martin is about to take that place off Bourdais. Watch this. And remember what's happened at Arnage the last two times we had a pass on a Peugeot.
Well, coming down to the second chicane, they were very close. They were in traffic, but now it looks like the track is clear ahead of them. Out of Mulsanne, more slower cars in front, and Bourdais has got to deal with these absolutely right. Battle for third place here at Le Mans. Sebastian Bourdais in the Peugeot with Lucas Luhr diving to the inside, exactly as we've seen the Audis pass the Peugeots before, and he'll get by and box in his rival behind the Alphon Adventures Corvette. Or does he? No, he doesn't. He'll have to follow him and dive through to the inside. David Leslie, the Audi, really is very strong out of Mulsanne.
It is. He seems to be able to get that run through the first kink. He has to follow, and then immediately comes out to that first kink. There he is alongside the Peugeot through the second kink. Now they're doing 200 miles an hour side by side through that second kink before they come down into the Indianapolis corner, where they have to sort of a bit of a lift through the first part and then really hard on the brakes to get stopped and turn sharp left.
We have Audi pit crews out on the apron. The crew of car number one are ready. Frank Biela in second place, last lap 3:32.6 to the leaders 3:32.9. The gap is down to 17.9 seconds, and there you see them.
Car number one,
they will be
Biela's
expecting
car.
Frank Biela.
Let's ask why. We're only 30 minutes into the race. We're nowhere near
Frank
the first,
Biela had a good lead. Now that lead's disappeared completely, and they've caught him.
He's going into the pits, and Biela then, I'm assuming, may have a problem.
He's got a problem.
We think it could be the same as everybody else, got a puncture problem, in which case you can see it on the telemetry. They've read it to him and tell him to come in.
Well, one thing that has not happened is he has not run out of fuel.
That would have been, well, we know he's done it before. That would have been a disaster if he managed it twice.
He certainly will never do that again as long as he lives. Into the pit box comes car number one. As you see, the Peugeots now motoring behind Lucas Luhr. They are third and fourth. And what's going on with Biela? They're checking underneath the car. Tyres are ready, but not going on yet because he's receiving fuel.
As long as the fuel's going in, no one else can touch the car, nothing except for safety items. They've got none of that to do. They're trying to get all the photographers and people out of the way. Fuel's off, straight back out, no tyres.
Why?
The Michelin men did go around the car and have a close look but he was definitely slowed because they were all over the back of him and passing him before he actually turned into the pit lane.
Driver change at Cruise Motorsport. They're taking fresh slick tyres as well. The Cruise team you saw just getting in there was Norbert Siedler. So Joan de Portales, who started the races out. Third driver in that car is Tony Burgess. And here we are again with the Peugeots, it seems, closing a fraction now on Lucas Luhr. Once more, he gets onto the straight though, and he starts to stretch his little legs a bit more.
Certainly staying ahead, but why is Bourdais fallen back into the clutches of Manassim? This is the other question. It's perhaps they're at the absolute limit at the moment. But Diana, if you're down there, if you can get along to the number 1 Audi pit, find out exactly what was that about. Maybe it's the tortoise and hare thing. Maybe Frank was told to come in earlier, try and break up the sequence of pit stops. It always outfoxes the opposition.
Somebody out on the pit apron at Peugeot as well, so when you've run up to Audi, run back to Peugeot and find out what's going on there. Bourdais, well, we've heard already, haven't we, from Pescarolo that they did not have the optimal tyre choice on the back of the car. Maybe that's exactly the problem at Peugeot. How much experience have they got of this race? None at all. How much background have they got to go on? None at all. They've had almost exclusively wet running and cool conditions in testing and in qualifying for the race. So suddenly we've got a hot, dry racetrack. It's not beyond the bounds of possibility that, again, they've got a softer compound on than they really would have liked to have done, and it may well be that the tyre is now starting to give up a little bit of its performance, and as a result, maybe the two cars took different choices based on what the drivers wanted, and maybe they have not got all the data they need to make as good a guess of what the weather and the conditions are going to demand as Audi have.
We've got people at Audi getting ready for another car to come in. We've got people at Peugeot getting ready for a car to come in. And we weren't expecting them to be in this early. They're going to be having 10 laps by the time they come in. Now we're expecting them to do 12 laps, a tank full of fuel. They did an extra lap, don't forget. When they refueled, they went out. There was a lap to come back to the start line. They had a lap behind the safety car. It's generally about a lap and a quarter's worth of fuel when you do it slowly like that to take those 2 laps. So you've lost a lap and a quarter. They'll have done 10 laps by the time they come in. This next lap, both Peugeot and Audi, add that together, that's 11 and a quarter laps worth of fuel.
David, sorry, but Bill Binney has badly held up the Peugeots through the Porsche curves. There's nothing he can do about it. He's got to drive through them, but look at that, they've lost about 20 car lengths because of Bill Binney.
Capello, the race leader, on pit road. 10 laps completed, and Dindo Capello is in the lead, is in the pits. And this again is going to look like it's a standard. Now then, bearing in mind that if any hour of the race is going to be shown live, it's going to be the first and the last. With Peugeot on pole position, have Audi possibly short-filled to try and be able to overhaul them as quickly as possible?
I actually think, their lap where they are now is where they want to be. But in comes the number 8 Peugeot. That's the first of the Peugeots into the pit box. Again, refueling, out they go, and you can see them just having a look round the car to make sure it's okay. Switch the headlights off. You've got to kill the engine when you're sitting still, and I'm sure the Michelin guys have had a look round, have a look. You want to make sure there's no damage underneath the car, because don't forget, this was a car that went off on the very first corner and bumbled across the grass there.
David, Chris Parsons just pointed out to us that in fact Manassim got ahead of Bourdais on that lap.
And a long time starting that car and getting out of there.
So has he got a problem?
Nope.
Well, now, it may be that because you've got 3 Audis and 2 Peugeots, they are staggering them and bringing them in a lap early and 2 laps early for Audi, or a lap early for Peugeot, so you don't have both cars arriving at the end of 12-lap stint on the apron at the same time. Chaos.
But we've had 1 car in, 2nd car in straight the lap after, and then that leaves the next car to come in, the next Audi come in next lap, and that is the maximum number of laps they could have done. So rather than bring 2 cars in together, because they're so close on the circuit and refuel 2 cars at the same time, they've staggered them 1, 2, 3, 1 lap after the other. Peugeot, I am sure, will be in next time with a 2nd car, number 7 car, but right in front of them is that Pilbeam Judd number 20 in the garage, directly in front of the Peugeot garage. Can they get that filled with the fuel and out before the Peugeot arrives?
Well, that car's already been lapped once, so we saw it being swallowed up in the middle of the Audi-Peugeot battle. You're absolutely right. They don't want that car sitting there, so they have to swerve in around it. So hopefully Mark Roston, Chris McAllister and Gavin Pickering's car will be gone, but there is The rear bodywork is coming off, so this is another wrinkle that the Peugeot team don't want. There is a car, the only car in the pit lane is right in front of them.
Well, fortunately it's a 7 car, which is actually further away from the pole bin than the number 8, so they do have space. But as you say, it won't be the smooth routine they've practiced time after time after time